The failures of Joe Biden are stacking up faster than bodies of illegals in the Rio Grande these days. Here's the short list of the abject failures of the Biden administration. This is a very short list, trust me. I could spend hours with a much more detailed review, but we only have 3 hours today, so I will get to, well, as many as possible. I'll start here. First, the economy, of course. Joe Biden and the socialists began attacking the energy sector and canceling the Keystone XL pipeline on day one, and quickly started flooding America with truckloads of cash, which caused gas and oil to soar in prices, and the worst inflation in 4 decades was soon to follow. Second, Joe Biden and his lieutenants opened the southern border, which has never seen the kind of numbers we're seeing now when it comes to the unprecedented invasion of illegals. When Barack Obama was president, think about this. According to John Jay, Department of Homeland Security Secretary at the time, about 300,000 illegals a year got in. Under Joe Biden, that many are coming over the border in 6 to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks. It's not normal. It's not slowing down. In fact, it might be picking up. And don't forget the special bonus deliveries of fentanyl and other deadly poisons flowing in, too, because that's just that special. Number 3, there's an explosion in violent crime that is being fueled by soft-on-crime prosecutors and policies that allow killers to walk out of jail with little or no bail. Plus, that full frontal assault that is the whole defund the police movement. It literally has blood running in the streets of this country. And like I said, these are just a few of the items that give this president the worst grade of any president in my lifetime. He is incompetent and incontinent. They may not be related, but maybe they should be, because a lot of Americans right now are crapping their pants looking at the prices at grocery stores. Fact. So let's begin right there. Joe Biden said inflation would never last. And it was a short-term problem, a short inconvenience. It was transient, right? This is from July 19th, 2021. Inflation at the time pegged at 5.4%. Now we're in real trouble because of his terrible failures as president and the terrible policies. Listen to this.
Our experts believe, and the data shows, that most of the price increases we've seen were expected and are expected to be temporary. The reality is you can't flip the global economic light back on and not expect this to happen. As demand returns, there's going to be global supply chain challenges. We've seen that in semiconductors, which are used in automobiles. That global shortage has slowed vehicle production, creating a temporary spike in car prices. That's a real challenge. My administration will do everything we can to address it. But again, these disruptions are temporary.
Yeah, temporary, transient. They won't be here long. In fact, the entire administration kept lying about inflation until they couldn't lie anymore. Listen to how they went from one thing to trying to spin the thing that it's not that bad. Here's a compare and contrast montage for you to unpack a little bit. Listen to this.
Our experts believe, and the data shows, that most of the price increases we've seen were expected and are expected to be temporary. There's nobody suggesting there's unchecked inflation on the way. No serious economist. I want every American to know that I'm taking inflation very seriously, and it's my top domestic priority.
Is there a risk of inflation? I think there's a small risk, and I think it's manageable. I believe it's transitory, but I don't mean to suggest that these pressures will disappear in the next month or two. I think I was wrong then about the path that inflation would take.
I really do not expect that we'll be in a situation where inflation rises to troubling levels.
Inflation is likely to take longer to return to our price stability goal than previously expected.
We believe it's temporary. I'm hopeful with a little bit of time, with the investments that Congress has to make in workforce, in manufacturing, in infrastructure, we will be able to keep a lid on inflation. So clearly we are, and Americans are, struggling with inflation. I still think, we will get inflation under control.
Yeah, there you have it. You have the Commerce Secretary right there, Raimondo. You had the Chair of the Fed, Jerome Powell. You had the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. There they all are. Oh, this is not a problem. This is not a problem. Oh, it's a problem. No kidding. You see, because we all knew it was a problem. But no serious economist, Joe Biden said, no serious economist thinks there's any problem at all. Maybe no serious president would ever be so dishonest or so ill-equipped to do the job. This is not a serious presidency. It's a dangerously lightweight presidency that'll get blown off course by any political whim or wind. But despite trying to gaslight the American population by lying over and over again, the economy is not in good shape. And if inflation was so transitory, well, now we're in real trouble because a recession, a long, deep recession, is the only thing that will stop it now. And the Fed says it will not stop until they get there. It all comes from Biden's terrible policies and grossly inexcusable spending sprees. That's for sure. And Joe Biden says that inflation is not really a big deal. But former Barack Obama economic advisor Jason Furman, well, he disagrees. He's quite worried. Listen to this.
Described as the scariest economics paper of 2022. And in it, you write, to get inflation rate to the Fed's target of 2%, that would require an average unemployment rate of about 6.5% in 2023, 2024. This is what Elizabeth Warren is so worried about. How worried are you?
I am worried about the situation we're in. Historically, you've never seen the Fed be able to bring inflation down from this type of level without causing a recession. You heard the Fed chair in August at Jackson Hole say basically he's single-mindedly concerned about inflation, and if unemployment starts rising, he's not going to let up on what he needs to do. I think that's incredibly unpleasant, incredibly unfortunate, but the alternative might be even worse. If you let inflation get entrenched, it could require an even bigger recession a couple of years from now to bring it down.
This will be the highest rate of inflation annually since 1981. The first year that Ronald Reagan was in office, cleaning up the mess left behind by Jimmy Carter. The inflation rates in the two previous years were higher. It was 10.8% in 1981. This year, it will be over 8% annualized. That's almost for sure because, again, let me tell you something. I'll dig deeper into this after the break. But as I've been telling you for a while now, gas and oil prices have bottomed out. No more gaming the system, no more dumping strategic petroleum reserves in is going to help. Gas went up over the last 24 hours by a penny. Gas is exactly where it was 1 week ago. It's flat. I told you the bottom was coming. We're here. California, it's already back up 60 cents in some places. I'll be right back on the Steve Gruber Show.